Okay. So creating your list that we're going to go into this idea. So when we've talked about list building and from the initial thing, your business is your list. What's your list? Well, these are the people that have opted in or given you traditionally their email address, and now you can build a relationship with them. So where do you start to do all of this? Well, this is your list building, and now you need a different service to manage this. Oh, isn't this fun? So scattered. We're definitely working on a universal type thing, so you don't have to get all of these different services. But as of this point, we're all juggling multiple different accounts. So the idea with list building is you want to also keep in mind that you want a new list for every campaign offer. Not being said, all of my moms with birthday parties can fall into that. But if I'm doing, a campaign for moms with birthday parties, I'm also working on list building for one of my clients that's a smoke and tattoo shop. I really don't want to mix those. So make sure, for the different offers, you don't want to be sending, gardening tips to the people that opted in for, birthday party tips. So make sure, if whatever those target avatars are, that there's a different list on it. There's lots of different accounts, that you can look at. It's like email marketing type accounts. GetResponse is the one that we use. Aweber's another popular one. Constant Contact, hear a lot about too. I've used that in the past. It's okay. Anyways, so all of those ones. So we personally use GetResponse, so that's going to be what I'm going to show you in with the tutorials. So super easy with GetResponse. Pretty much you log in, it looks like this, it's going to tell you the different ideas. So in order to create a new list, we're back to this wording of campaign. So if you go ahead and click on campaign, then this is where you can go ahead and create campaign. So whatever, different ideas, and this is where we segment different ideas on different things so I know who's falling under what contacts. But pretty easy, just create campaign, looks just like this. Literally, you're done. So the only thing with that to keep in mind is that, I guess in their system, if somebody else already has a name, you can't have it. So it's not a different name of yours. It's in their system. It has to be a unique name. So sometimes your own name might be taken or whatever, ad campaigns or something like that. But just be aware, if it's saying that you can't give it, it's because somebody else in using GetResponse already has that campaign name. Okay. Now, here is the opt-in box. So we're going to be, in a little bit composing these web forms, and there's different ways that you can do it. Well, this is the box that people are going to put their email address in. So you do it right here from GetResponse, and this is how you build that list. So awesome. You have a new campaign, so this could be, moms, in this list, moms with younger kids or something. Well, that's awesome, but how are they going to join my list? How am I going to automatically get their information? Because remember, we always want to be leveraging ourselves in what we're doing. So you're going to go ahead and click on this web form, which is going to bring up something like this. So this will show you there's lots of different, there's templates. I mean, look, there's 177 different ones and different styles of boxes, arrows, all of these things. You can have Santa Claus, whatever you want. So pretty much here, this is, when you just initially click on it, this is the basic one that's going to look like this. Well, you can have it look like that. So it's going to have, headlines, name, email address, all of this stuff, or you can go ahead and eliminate it, which is what we're going to do in our step. So if you just deselect these different things, uncheck your header, your footer, the names, all of these different things, you can have a CAPTCHA in there if you want. So by unselecting these, they don't show up. So my box went from this, where it was a very, whoops, I'm trying to go back. This, where it's, a ton of different information. So this is where you go at the bottom and you can just unselect these different things, and then it's not going to come up. So what we're looking for is just the box. So this box is linking to our contacts here in GetResponse. So if somebody, clicks on it, and then you can change the name. So instead of this, it can be, receive my free download or something like that. So you can change all the text around. But whatever that's going to be. So if somebody puts in their information, it's automatically now going to go into GetResponse and become a contact in there, and that's what your list is. So however many contacts that is, that equals your list. These are all, potential customers of yours, and that's where the gold is right there. So from this box, awesome. And then the last thing is what's going to be happening when you are on these different things. So awesome, somebody went ahead and they submitted their information. They opted in, they gave you their email address. So now what's going to happen? Well, the part that you have to look for on here is these thank you page. So you don't want to use the default one that's, from GetResponse. It just says, oh, thank you for signing up or something like this. What we're going to be using for all of this is a custom thank you page. And remember when I was talking about that tracking pixel that you want to do when you're talking about conversions? Well, this is, on this custom thank you page. And this is something that you have to design separately. And then this is, where you're going to, you either do it yourself or you have a graphic designer type person. And this is going to be, if you remember yesterday when I was showing you that example of that 48-hour cash machine. So somebody, okay, they saw the landing page. It was telling them, hey, check out this 48-hour cash machine. It's so awesome. They gave them some value. Enter in your email and I'll send you, what my 48-hour cash machine is. Okay, well then they went to the page and that's where it had the different training videos on there. Well, this is what we refer to as the thank you page. So when we're, this is where your lead magnet can be held and things like that. So this is, you always want to be using, in this regard, the custom thank you page, because that's going to be whatever it is that they wanted, and that's why they put their email address in. Other ones, the other one that I use, I don't use the default one, but stay on the current page. That's awesome, and that's what I use on my personal blog sites when I'm saying, hey, sign up for my newsletter or something like that. Then that's where I would use it, because they're just signing up for a newsletter. They don't need to see all fancy pages. They literally, sign up and then they remain on my blog. But in this case, like I said, your custom thank you page is going to now be, what's the lead magnet? What's the value that you promised them? Now you need to deliver it, and that's why it's going to be on a custom thank you page. Okay? So and then for these ones, your name, that's fine, whatever it's going to be on that one. The confirmed opt-in, we don't do that. There's different aspects of it. You can also test it and see. For most of the stuff that we're doing, it's almost kind of captivating and going on impulse buys. So somebody saw my ad on Facebook, they were interested. Now they see, my fancy dancy site, that's telling them, all the value I can give them, and says, enter in your email address and I'll give you the value. They enter in their email address. We want to just give it to them. A confirmed opt-in is one where it's going to say, oh, thank you so much. Now go to your email and, confirm that you wanted this product. So it's a two-step process. So for what we're doing, we don't want that confirmed in, because we want to give them that immediate gratification. When you're talking, newsletters and things like that, if people want it, then they'll use the confirmed opt-in to really make sure that someone's interested in what they're doing. So there's definitely times that you would want to use confirmed opt-ins versus, just the single opt-in, what we call. You generally have a better list. People are more interested in what you're putting out if it's the confirmed. But what we're just trying to go through is volume, get as many people, into our list, and then work those leads, because a lot of them, if you make it the two-step process, they're not going to go through it, and, you've kind of lost them. So we look at more of trying to get more, people to come through the door and work them than really, really good committed ones, but less of a volume. So just two different strategies to look at. And then the Facebook one's cool, but we're not going to use that right now because we want to be doing email marketing and sending connections to them. So we're not going to offer them the option to just, connect with us via Facebook. Now, if your campaigns that you're running is trying to just promote on Facebook, then that would be a great option to use. Okay, so hopefully everybody's good on that page. And the last step of it is, once you've created the web form, what are we going to be doing it? So this comes down to, if you have I'm not overly computer savvy. I know enough to get the job done, and I'm able to do this. And if you have absolutely no inclination whatsoever of doing this, you can definitely have a web designer that will go ahead and do this. But this is your little form, so it's where are you going to be putting this box? The HTML code is the little email box that we made on the on that back page where it's it said name, email address, submit or something. So where are you going to be putting that box? Well, this is the code for the box, and this is where you're going to go and take it on your landing page that you're designing. And I'm going to go through and show you guys on designing. There's different aspects, but for this part, if you're going to be putting it onto, lead pages or something like that we talk about, those ones, this is the little code that you need for the box, because they need to sign up in the box from GetResponse in order to have their email address be put into this GetResponse and to manage it. So hopefully that makes sense to anybody. So that's just that option, and then we like the HTML code. If you're unsure on codes, definitely be using a web designer on that stuff. And there you go.